What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, and I'm bringing you awesome little verses. So today we have the Case Tribal Lock versus the Boker Plus Vintage Series Lockback. Both are fairly equal in size. The Case has a spear point where the Boker has a clip point. You can see by some of the, I don't want to say where, but you see by usage, these get used. Now it's harder to tell on the Case because the polish on the Case is phenomenal. This thing is one of those knives that I literally keep with me almost all the time. Literally almost. What the fuck just happened? All right, so hold on. I have to pick it up. So anyway, I dropped it on my brick patio and it actually landed right on the tip, and no damage, no scuffing, no breaking, no cracking, no loosening. It's a Case, man. All right, so I totally did it on purpose. My thought was, I'm gonna throw this into the ground, knock the camera down, make it all dramatic, and then show you that there's no damage. I won't do that with this. This one right here is a plastic handle, and it's not the greatest, strongest plastic. I don't know if you could tell, but right in here, yeah, you can see that. I cracked it. And I cracked it from general use. I did not abuse this little knife. Just crack it. However, it's a really attractive little plastic orange handle. It's nice, but I did crack it. This one is a black laminate, and I wish you could tell the texture on here is actually really nice. It's absolutely comfortable. There you go, you can see it. It's really comfortable in the hand, and it's just an overall excellent knife. As far as fit and finish, well, it's definitely, you can see the difference from the Case to the Boker. Let's see where the lock right here on the spine sits. You could see that obviously there's a gap, but you could see that it's just slightly crooked. You see how it goes down more, slightly crooked, where, I mean, look at how this lines up. That is all like flush, where this one has gapping. The liners on the Case are gorgeous brass liners, and there is zero gapping, where here they use a brass liner, which is nice. There's some little cruddy spots in it, but there's up here, right there, I hope you guys can see this, there's gapping issues right there. I'm not sure if it's going to pick up on here, but it's minor stuff. I mean, it's really minor stuff. This is a 440C. This is a German stainless steel. And anybody who knows the True Sharp stuff from Case, you know it's a high carbon. You know it's phenomenal steel. This 440C is better than, like, you know, when people put surgical steel, just like regular stainless steel. This is actually a really good little knife blade. This just happens to be a better knife blade. Now, as far as size, I know they're really close. This should be like 4 1/8, I want to say, on the Case, and it is 4 1/8 closed, and it's just about 7 1/4 all the way open. So, you know, you're looking at a blade that's over 3 1/4 inches on the blade, where the Boker, let's start with the handle, is about 3 3/4 on the handle. We're looking at an overall length of 6 5/8 maybe, with a blade length of 3 inches. So you're not too far off size for size. You know, you got about a ½ inch of total size, and literally about 1/8 or 1/4 inch on blade size, whatever it was. I just measured, you listened, I didn't. They're awesome. This one I just use so much. And it's just in my pocket a lot, so that's probably why it still looks good, because it's always polished rubbing in my pocket. You know what I mean by that. This one I keep by a lamp in the living room, and I use it for like tasks when I need to cut something open. So now let's talk about, we're talking fit and finish. Okay, this one has no wobble. Front, back, up, down, no wobble. This one, I don't know if you could actually see it. This one has some wobble. See the gapping there, how it, you can see the light through it right there. Now it's shut, now it's open, now it's shut, now it's open. So this one will wobble slightly against the lock, but more against the actual frame. Now, frame thickness, where the pivot is, you can absolutely see that the case is just thicker. It's just a thicker body, which helps make it more, you know, more comfortable to hold. The blade itself, the case also there is thicker. Not by much, but it's thicker. So overall, if I was going to go fit and finish, the case absolutely takes the little Boker. If I was going to say, you know, just looks alone on the design, I would have to say the case too, which it's almost a draw on this, because I love the look of this knife. I love it. I love the little clip point. I love the just the style of how it's made. Just everything about this I think is attractive. This one is just more attractive. So I'm not taking anything away from this. Fit and finish, I have to take this one, you know, give some points away from this, where this guy right here is just flawless. Overall handleability, that's a real word, I made it up. Handleability is definitely on the case's side, just because it's a little bit bigger. However, this flare out, you can see how they both flare up at the end. Where it sits, it actually, how this is cornered like this feels really good, where this is rounded. That little edge right there feels really, really nice when you're holding it on the pinky. I mean, really nice. And this knife right here is, golly, I want to say like between 20 and 30, maybe could be less, somewhere in there. This one retails about 105 or something like that, and you can find them for like 70 bucks. And you're thinking, well, this guy right here is comfortable and it has a good steel. The fit and finish isn't there, and the blade isn't polished, but who cares? It's a lot less money. True, but you're gonna get some loosening, and you may get some cracking, where this guy right here that gets used constantly has never ever had an issue. I mean, nothing. Now, each of these blades, the edges are both very, very nice on them. This one I use a lot more, and the edge is still very, very nice. I've never done anything to these. I haven't taken them to a stone. This is still out of the box edging after usage. So let's check the Boker. And I think some wind is blowing it off, but you can see the hairs on there. Still shave sharp. Let's try the case. And oh yeah, oh, I just lost a bunch of the hairs right there. Well, anyway, you could maybe you could see it. Both, after using them, both are still shave sharp, so both have really good edge retention. This one though, the true steel, the true sharp steel, I have a lot of experience with, and I can definitely say that this edge is going to hold up. So let's go like carve some things and whatnot, just to give you an idea of what these knives are really for. They're not just made for talking in front of a camera. Since we're not going to sit there and talk in front of the camera about the edges, we're going to use them. We're going to use them right here on some aluminum. We're going to cut through these cans and show you how that goes right here. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to get all the way through, because they are short blades. So the distance, I would have to literally hit the can with, you know, with this part of the blade. I mean, this part of the handle right here where the lug is. I'd have to hit that. So we're not going to go all the way through, I'm assuming. I assumed wrong on that one. All right, so actually, no, I assumed right. So you can see where I actually punched it right there, but the blade came back. Once I punched it, it squished it enough to where I was able to go through. So if I punch that one, that should do the same thing. If I don't punch it, we won't go all the way through. But you can actually see where I caved it in. All right, so that's that. It cuts. That's all you need to know, really. You don't really give a shit about the rest of this stuff. All right, so, and the case. Man, I'll tell you what, they both perform awesome. The case a little bit cleaner on the cut, but woo-wee, I love them, I love them. Let's keep going. All right, so we're at the stump. We got the case, we got the Boker. We've got some things to cut. We'll start with the Boker and some cordage and an easy cut. We'll go to the case and the cordage, fold it around here, and an easy cut. So they both fucking cut cord, all right? What do you want from me? That was a little easier than I thought. Let's see. Even if I go right-handed, all of a sudden I hurt my good hand, and I'm still cutting through, no freaking problem. But what if you need to cut something stronger than cord? We have vacuum cleaner hose. So let's start with the case, and it's just so easy. I literally just punctured through, and now I gotta finish it off. But so easy to cut through. We have the Boker. Let's clean that off a little bit, and just like the case, bam, it goes right through. These guys are both very capable little cutters. They're sharp, and the edge profiles are very good. Let's do a little wood shaving here. You can probably see the wood flying off. It's a big piece of wood. I'm not going to sharpen it all the way down to a point. That'll take forever with these little guys, but you can see the wood flying off. Let's see if we can't get a few yeah, of course we can. You like how I finished that sentence? Let's see if we can get a few and then nothing. That's what my grandmother used to do. Hey, let's see, you guys want to go to the and that was it. End of the sentence. You know, I'm turning into my grandmother. Oh my God, I can't wait to get that cool beard. That's gonna be awesome. All right, so just like the Boker, we shave, and let's see if we can. Oop, I went too far, too fast. I was gonna say, let's see if we can get some curls, but then I cut them all off as I was doing it. Let me stabilize this puppy here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're curling. Now we're curling. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Some nice, tight little curls. And those are just pretty right there. So, I mean, both knives are capable of doing the exact same job. Both knives. The difference is this one is going to last you probably a lot longer than this one without needing some touching up. This one is gonna loosen. It obviously already did. This one's gonna stay nice and tight. But both, I mean, you're seeing it. They're both extremely capable. What it comes down to, for a lot of people, it's gonna come down to this. This one costs a lot more money than this one. This one is better built. They both have an edge that works. They both cut. I'm looking, I don't know if you can see that, the gap on this side. You can, actually both sides, there's this one too, but you can see how the scales pull away from the frame on there, where on this, it's just perfect. This is built like a Sherman tank. This is built like, you know, just some guy named Sherman. This thing right here, While they perform equally good as you use them, this is just a much, much better knife. The build quality, the overall aesthetics. I mean, the care that they put into the finish, just top to bottom. This knife is phenomenal. This knife is great. This is a great knife. If you buy this knife, if you buy yourself a Boker Plus Vintage Series lockback, you're going to say, holy crap, I just got myself a really good knife for maybe 25 bucks. And you're going to be pretty happy with it. But for me, because I'm a knife guy, I would rather spend 70 and get a knife that not only is going to last forever, but it's collectible. I mean, these things, the value is going to stay in a case. It's just a great, great knife. I don't know, guys, it comes down to that. It comes down to, do you want overall build quality or overall lower price? You know they're both going to cut. You know they're both going to slice. You know they're both going to take care of that vacuum hose that you have sitting around the house. They're both going to do it no matter what. This one's just going to stay stronger longer. Just a better knife. But we're not done yet, so let's keep going. All right, it's time to try and cut through the rough stuff. So this is a dried out leather soccer ball. You've seen it in some other videos. It's a real ball. It's real leather. It's real strong. We're going to puncture and we're going to slice. And puncture and slice with the Boker with that nice clip point was very, very easy. Do the same thing with the case. I'm going to put it here. Wow, that went through easy. And I'm going to slice. I didn't expect this little spear point because, you know, I mean, it's nice. You can see my finger through it. The spear point versus the clip point, I honestly thought that this was going to penetrate a little bit better. I really, really did. But this spear point on the case absolutely just cruised right through that leather. I put a lot less pressure than I did on this one, even though they both did the job and both did the job well, and both cuts are completely fine. I honestly thought that as far as that test, I thought this was going to be the better knife for that. Gotta say it wasn't, guys. This case is a badass, man. All right, let's keep going. So there's really only one thing left to do here, and that's give them a toss. Now, these guys are definitely not made to do what we're about to do. Not in the least. And they are both completely, while they're very similar, they're completely weighted differently. This has got a more substantial blade, but it also has a more substantial body. So the weight on this is going to throw me off a little bit, where this is just really light. And so, I don't know, we're going to figure it out. We'll see. I'm probably going to miss a bunch of times until I can figure it out, but eventually I'll figure it out. I'm Donnie B all day, damn it. All right, let's see what we got here. That was a miss on the Boker. That was a miss on the case. All right, so what did I learn on the first couple throws? Nothing. I missed them both, so it taught me nothing. Let's try again. Now we're doing a 3-yard throw, not a 5-yard. I hit the blade. I think I'm hitting the blade, but you know what I'm doing? I think I'm just throwing them too soft. You know? Let's try again. That one hit the blade, almost stuck, and then fell out. All right, the case. This is the first one to stick. And I gotta give it credit to the weight of the knife, because this Boker, I hit the tip and it fell out. Just like that. Hit the tip and it fell out. Try again. Well, it's stuck in the ground. All right, so let's try again. That case is sitting pretty. Man, I can't land this Boker for nothing. I'm probably gonna shatter this up. Well, I found a mistake already in the Boker. Something happened. But of course, it's not made for this, so don't let that be the tell. All right, so let's try one more time on this. Maybe one more time. because I can't just stop. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna destroy this little knife, and I don't want to because I like it. But at its price point, I could probably just buy another one anyway. Man, this knife is really hard to throw. I know there's some, there it is. There's some really good knife throwers out there that'll probably get that in the first shot. Let me see. Trying to find it, see if I can pick it out. Nope, I'll just have to show you. All right, so, all right, when they did go in, they went in pretty well. Okay, so, any wobbling, the case has, I mean, aside from some sap being on it, you cannot tell that I threw this knife into a tree. Holy crap. This knife is solid as a freaking rock. Boop. This knife, okay, the wobble, you can actually hear it. It definitely got worse. The tag popped off. The tag on the case did not pop off. So I lost that. Also, where I cracked it previously, where I showed you just from daily use, I cracked it on this side and a piece actually flew off. I lost a chunk of the handle. Now remember, this is plastic. It's nothing special. So doing this, I'm thinking to myself, you know, you're not going to be throwing these. You're not going to be destroying these. But what happens if you drop it? You know what I mean? If you drop it in your garage on a cement floor or something like that, because I'm not chucking this. You know what I mean? I found another flaw, but that came with the knife as far as fit and finish. I didn't notice, but it's actually this cut right here where with the lock, where boop right there. It's actually very, very crooked. It goes down on this side, but again, that's nothing. So right here, we have a chunk of plastic that flew out. Right here, the badging flew out. And I'm literally giving it a very, very light toss. You guys seen how it was going. I'm not going, I don't try and kill the knife. I don't like when people do that. But I want to see what it's good for. And while it did what I wanted it to do, and it stuck, it's pretty good. Now, one thing I'm going to say, and this is crazy, I took a chunk off of here. Everything, you know, is loose on this knife, except the scales. Even cracked here, chipped here, the scales are still on really tight. That I have to say that's pretty impressive. But as far as overall strength, I know that, and let's do a lock test. It closes, it stays closed, it locks, it stays locked. It stays locked. So I'm not worried about that. The function of the knife is still very good. A little tiny chip in the scale. Honestly, I don't really care so much about that. I might end up just buying another one because I do like the knife. But for this to pop out, that tells me that you can actually see it. It must have been a very thin piece. I don't know where it went, but it had to be very thin because it's not dug in there very much, and it was flush. So that's paper thin as far as that little badging. But what this tells me is if I'm carrying the knife and I have it like this, boop, and I drop it and it hits on the cement, there's a good chance that this is going to happen just from doing that, since that tree is not as hard as cement, and it hit that tree at the same velocity as it would if I dropped it on the ground. This guy right here hit the same tree, and no damage. I mean, none at all. This little guy right here, this little tab, perfect. This black laminate is really, really strong. There is nothing showing that anything bad happened. There is no spacing, no gapping. Let's check the lock. Oh man, it snaps tight. Snaps open. It's a case. This thing is just a beast. So let's go bring them to the rack and go over this. So here we have them. The case tribal lock and the Boker Plus Vintage Series lock back. I could talk about the issues with the Boker, but I'm not gonna lie, I still love the knife. I recently bought a Jaguar XJS, a nice classic sports car, and I was thinking to myself, well, I always keep a blade in the car. I need something to put in there, and I don't know which one I wanted to put. So, and I don't mean out of these two, I meant general. I have 1,000 knives. The case I always have in my pocket, so that's not being left in the car. But I think this Boker, even though I cracked the handle, but who cares about that? I think this Boker might be a great driving addition to this car, and this will be something I keep in it for any emergency use that I have. I think this knife will be a perfect bring-along knife. I have a different in my other car. One of my other cars, I have a case blade that I keep, and I love it, and I use it all the time. And I think I can get the same usage out of this Boker. Very, very good knife. Don't let the cracking fool you. Don't let the wobbles fool you. And remember, it didn't wobble because I threw it into a tree. It wobbled from regular usage. I've already had the wobble in there. It didn't just crack because I threw it into a tree. It already had a crack in it from regular daily usage. So it wasn't abused to have these problems show up. It just isn't as strong as its big brother there, the case. So, final thought on this is the case costs more money. But without a doubt, and I mean without a doubt, this case is, well, I just showed you, is going to last a lot longer. This case is going to be a lot stronger. And, I mean, it's just built better. It looks better. It's just tough as nails. Great overall knife. Would you be disappointed if you spent a little bit of money on a Boker? Hell no. You won't be disappointed at all. You'll actually have a little knife that you like. But if you spent a little bit more money on the case, then you get a knife you're going to love. The spear point on the tribal lock is just awesome. Just a great knife. So this is a versus, and I need a winner. And I have to say clearly that the winner is the case tribal lock. I am Donnie B all day, and until next knife.